Herkese merhaba. Welcome to my channel, Turkish Really Easy. In today's lesson, I'm going to teach you Türkçe'de temel ifadeler, basic expressions in Turkish. And these basic expressions include selamlaşma, saying hi, greetings, and vedalaşma, saying goodbye. So, let's start. In this first part of Basic Expressions in Turkish series, we are learning greetings and goodbyes. I will show you how to pronounce them firstly, then I will explain the meaning of each expression and how to use them in the right context. We are starting with the left side. Above you can see the title Selamlaşma, which means greeting or saying hello. The first expression on our list is merhaba. Merhaba. Merhaba can be used as a greeting regardless of where we are, who we are talking to, and what time of the day we are in. It's the most common way to say hello in Turkish. Secondly, we have selam. Selam. Selam is also a common way to greet people, but maybe it's a bit more friendly and informal version of merhaba. If we translate merhaba as hello into English, then selam will be like hey or hi. We can also say that selam is used rather in youth language. And now we have a pair. Hoş geldin and hoş bulduk. Hoş geldin is equivalent of welcome. We say it when we are welcoming our guests on their arrival to our house, to our city, to our land, shortly to our place. And generally we say hoş geldin to the people who we already know. But if we welcome somebody or some people who we don't know very well or don't know at all, or with whom we have rather formal relations, then we can use the second version, hoş geldiniz. This version is used when we welcome more than one person as well, regardless of how good we know them. And the response to both hoş geldin and hoş geldiniz would be always hoş bulduk. That's why we put them as a pair. The last expression in greetings section is selamün aleyküm. Selamün aleyküm. This one is also a very common way to greet people, but unlike selam and merhaba, selamün aleyküm sounds more traditional. You can hear it everywhere, but in rural areas, it's more likely you hear this version as hello. Now that we finished greeting expressions, we can continue with goodbyes. On the right side above, you can see the title vedalaşma, which means roughly saying goodbye. Again, I put the most common expression for saying goodbye onto the top of the list. It is görüşürüz. Görüşürüz, which means simply I'll see you or see you later. Secondly, we have görüşmek üzere. Görüşmek üzere, which has exactly the same meaning as görüşürüz, but görüşmek üzere is more formal and polite version of saying see you. I would use the first one, görüşürüz, when I am leaving, for instance, my family members or my close friends, generally the people who I know well. But when I am leaving someone who I don't know very well, or if I have more formal relations with them, then using görüşmek üzere would be more appropriate. Now we have another pair, hoşça kal and güle güle. They are a pair because generally güle güle is used as a response to hoşça kal. The one who is leaving generally says hoşça kal, which literally means may you stay well. And the one who is staying would respond with güle güle, which is a shortened version of güle güle git. And that means roughly go with joy. But most of the time we use simply shorter version güle güle. Hoşça kal has also a more formal and polite version hoşça kalın. And this version is used also when we want to say goodbye to more than one person. And the response for both hoşça kal and hoşça kalın will be güle güle. One last thing here, if two people are saying goodbye to each other, for example on the street, and going two different directions, they both could use hoşça kal. At the end of our list for goodbye expressions, we have two more which appear in the dictionaries as the translation of goodbye. However, they are not used so frequently as others. The first one is Allah'a ısmarladık. Allah'a ısmarladık, which roughly means I entrust you to the protection of the God. We can say that this one is a bit more traditional version of hoşça kal. And finally, elveda. Elveda. It means farewell, and it is the less frequent one. I can say it sounds rather poetic, and it is generally used when you leave someone or somewhere forever. So we cannot use it when we are leaving, for example, for work, for a trip, or even when we leave our country to work or live in another country. We use this one when we think or know that we will not see those people or those places anymore. So, please don't say elveda when you are leaving your friends who you will see just next day or a week later. Having finished the expressions for greetings and goodbyes, now we have some extra ones in the middle. I put them into the middle because when we use these ones, it goes about the time period of the day as well. And some of them can be used both as a greeting and also as a goodbye. Let's start with the first one. Günaydın. Günaydın. Günaydın is simply the equivalent of good morning. It can be used anywhere and to anybody regardless of how good we know them. We can say it both to our household after getting up and to our boss on the arrival to our workplace. But of course it's used in the morning hours until afternoon. After that we have iyi günler. İyi günler, which is used both when we greet people and when we leave them. For example, I can say iyi günler when I am entering a shop, but when I am leaving the same shop, I can again use iyi günler. The meaning of iyi günler is roughly good day, and it sounds a bit formal both for greeting and saying goodbye. Lastly, iyi günler is used in the daytime between morning and evening hours. And then comes iyi akşamlar. İyi akşamlar, which is the evening version of iyi günler. Everything what I said for iyi günler apply to iyi akşamlar except the time period. İyi akşamlar is generally used from 6-7 p.m. until 10-11 p.m. Finally, we come to iyi geceler. İyi geceler, which means good night. Generally, it's not used as a greeting. It's an expression used when we leave somewhere or someone in the nighttime, generally after 10-11 p.m. It can be also said to our household when we go for sleeping. One last thing, when we come across an acquaintance and if we don't have time or want to have a talk, or if we don't have close relations with them, we can just say kindly, günaydın, iyi günler, iyi akşamlar, or iyi geceler, depending on the time period of the day, and then continue our way. In today's lesson, we've covered the expressions for greeting and saying goodbye in Turkish. Thank you for visiting my channel and looking forward to seeing you in the following lessons. Teşekkürler. Görüşmek üzere. Hoşça kalın.